Hello! So it is time for another Cooking with Kate, and this time I thought I'd do something a little bit seasonal. So Easter's coming up, so I thought I would make some hot cross buns. So first we need to bring 300 ml of milk to the boil and add 50 grams of butter. So once you've mixed the butter in, you leave the milk until it's at hand temperature. So basically till it's cooled down, you can put your finger in there, and then we go on to the next step. So while that's cooling down, I'm going to put 500 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 75 grams of caster sugar and a packet of fast-acting yeast into a bowl and mix it together. For the dry ingredients, we've made a little well in the middle, and we're going to add to that the milk that's now cooled down, the milk and butter mixture is cooled down, and 1 beaten egg. So that's everything in the bowl. Now I'm going to mix it with a wooden spoon until it's all combined, and then use my hands to do the kneading. So you knead the dough until it's nice and elasticy, which should take about 5 minutes. So now we've got to put the dough into a bowl that's been oiled and cover it with cling film that's also been oiled and leave it for an hour in a warm place to proof, I think they call it. But yeah, hopefully it will work out and rise nicely. We'll see you in an hour, flour baby. So that's risen quite a bit actually. So I've never made dough before, and it smells so fresh, like almost like fruit a little bit. It's really nice actually. I could kind of eat it now, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to add to this now all the rest of the ingredients, so I'll get to that now. So to the mixture we need to add 75 grams of sultanas, a peeled and chopped apple, the zest of an orange, and a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So we're going to have to knead all those ingredients into that dough and then leave it for another hour to proof further, okay? Okay, let's leave you proof for another hour. Okay, so that is the dough all proofed and ready to go. So now the next step is to actually divide it into 15 clumps and roll them out onto a floured sort of surface. You want to make each piece be roughly about 75 grams, so in weight. There is a lot of proofing going into this recipe. So basically, once you've rolled them out and you've put them on a baking tray, what you want to do is cover them with cling film and leave them to proof for another hour, and then hopefully there won't be any more proofing because I don't think I can bear it. It's too much, too much. Okay, so now for the cross on the top of the hot cross bun, you need 75 grams of flour and you need 5 tablespoons of cold water, but you have to add the water a teaspoon at a time. So I followed the recipe and we got that. That is not a paste at all by any stretch of the imagination. 75 grams of flour is not going to make a paste with 5 tablespoons of water. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to try again myself. Okay, so once you've got your flour and water mixed together, then you need to put it into a piping bag and then make your cross on top of your bun. After all the proofing's done, then it is time to put them in the oven. Thank God for that. Preheat the oven to 220 degrees or 200 degrees if you have a fan assisted oven. That's gas mark 7. A little bit overcooked, but never mind that. Let's get on to making the apricot glaze. So to make the apricot glaze, you need 3 tablespoons of apricot jam. You need to heat that up, and then you need to sieve all the lumps out and then brush it onto the top of the hot cross buns, and then you're done basically. So let's just do that quickly. Okay, so the moment of truth. Let's hope all this proofing was worth it. I'm gonna give them a go. That is actually really nice. I quite like that. The only thing I'd say is I don't think the fruit was mixed in well enough, so there's not much fruit in the middle. But other than that, it's actually really quite nice. So, big thumbs up from me. The other thing that I would change is the crossing paste on the top is too thick. So if I was to do that again, I would make that consistency a lot thinner because it's way too thick. Way too thick. Okay guys, so that's done. It was quite a difficult bake actually because of all the proofing involved and everything like that. And it's just really long-winded. But it worked out well in the end. I don't know if I'd make them again just because it's quite finicky to do. If you've got a whole day to spare and you don't really mind waiting an hour or so proofing and then doing a bit more than an hour or so, then it's fine. But for me, it's just a bit too long-winded to do again. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week. Take care guys. Bye!